Joy to be with you here on this Monday, and I trust your first week of 2024 was a blessing. It's wonderful to know that even when our weeks are not the best, they still can be a blessing, and that God uses the trials of our lives to strengthen us and to prepare us for even greater usage by Him, and also for a greater understanding of all that we have in Him. Today I'd like to go to the last couple of verses of chapter 12 of Hebrews. As we think of all the changing political landscape, and of course we're all aware of the fact that this year is going to be a rapidly changing news cycle, and we have no idea what is going to occur each month as we get closer to the election, as the wars intensify internationally and other things begin to happen. We are very aware of the uncertainty. And it's wonderful to know that what God has planned will occur, and that God is in control, and that we are not helpless as God's people. Verse 28 says, "Wherefore, we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace, whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear." We have a kingdom. We are part of Christ's kingdom, and that's a certain reality. Right now, it's a spiritual kingdom. The church is not a kingdom. That's wrong theology. It's a spiritual kingdom right now, and we have our citizenship in heaven. But we will be part of the very real kingdom of heaven, of even part of the millennial kingdom. It's a wonderful thing to know that all of these things are certain. And it cannot be moved. Kingdoms come and go. People come and go. Leaders rule and then are deposed. People live and then they die. And we see that all the time. You look back just 5 years ago, how clearly our world has changed. And yet, the Lord Jesus' rule cannot be moved. Therefore, let's take the grace of God. Let us have grace. Let's take that supernatural empowerment of God that comes because of what Christ did on the cross, so that we can serve God acceptably. Just think of that. No matter what's going on around us, we are part of the work of God today, and what Christ has done for us as the immutable God, and His salvation having been completed, He can provide for us grace that will cause us to be accepted by Him, and that we can serve Him with great effectiveness and power. And we can serve Him with reverence and godly fear. In other words, it doesn't matter how we're shaken by what's around us. We can have an attitude toward God of reverence in which we realize He's on the throne, and we have a godly fear of Him, knowing that we have a relationship with Him, He's almighty, and we can trust Him completely. Oh, there's so much in this verse. But I wanted to get across, we have a kingdom that cannot be moved. And it's very interesting, the last verse here that culminates a lot of different teaching in chapter 12 states, "For our God is a consuming fire." I'm telling you, when we're walking with God, we have nothing to fear. He is a consuming fire. He will make things right. But it's also a challenge for us. We need to walk with Him. We need to serve Him. We will be thrown by this world if we're living for this world. May God enable us to have the right kind of heart and realize that His kingdom cannot be moved.